So a little disclaimer, if I do decide to title the video Architect Reacts or something like that, I have a degree in architectural studies, but I am not a fully qualified architect in the UK. Architect is a protected title and I don't want to get in trouble with the Royal Institute. So I've got a degree in architecture. I'm technically a part 1, but there's 3 parts to it to become fully qualified in the UK. But I still want to see if I can give any insight with my degree here as well. Any added extra insight. Now, I've heard very mixed things about this film. You know, some people actually really enjoying the visuals, but then others say, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. Others saying it looks like Spy Kids 3. And I've seen the go back to the club and, you know, some of the dialogue. It's a film I can appreciate being made. I'm glad it's being made, that artists have a voice to be able to make a film like this, but also I guess we'll see how it is, because people are saying like it's a mess narratively and there's a specific scene that I'm very excited to see how they translate that into streaming. But, you know, I guess we'll see and we'll judge it ourselves. It's these kind of musings on society and dictatorship, and I wonder if it's going to hit any different now that Trump's been re-elected. You know, I guess we'll see. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find a full-length version of this reaction where you can sync up your own footage and watch along with me. You can find polls so you can vote for what's next, and we've got some early access over there too. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
Or will we too fall victim, like old Rome, to the insatiable appetite for power of a few men?
I mean, that does feel very relevant. Oh yeah, this is the scene they released early. I did see this, where you can stop time. Oh yeah, and the dolly zoom to really accentuate the height of the building, of course, the fool that it would be. Seems like, is that him testing the limits of his power? It's a crazy strong power to have. Ooh, okay. Large scale to small scale. And of course, yeah, a city like that is a city of excess. A city of partying.
Why do I so? Perhaps you ask.
All right, let's go.
You think so?
Julia.
I've heard, you know, dialogue in this film. Some of it might be difficult to decipher.
But only a federal bailout can solve them.
Julia.
Ah, okay. It's the optics of her always going out partying. She's the mayor's daughter.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, she can perceive that. Does she have the same power?
The site is under design authority jurisdiction.
And what happens if you've overstepped your mandate?
We'll apologize.
Apologize?
Oh, okay. So, he's just going, destroying protected buildings.
He wins a Nobel Prize for invention of the megalon, a miracle building material.
Oh, yeah, it was like ever morphing, it looked like.
When does an empire die? Does it collapse in one terrible moment? No.
Oh yeah, it's a slow collapse, of course it is.
People no longer believe in it. Then does an empire begin to die?
I mean, a lot of this is very obvious real life New York City. Like, even there, going up the escalators, you had real brands, HSBC.
Who was here to support Caesar's vision of New Rome, which was displeasing to Mayor Caesar's bitter rival.
It seems, I don't know, does he have this vision of New Rome, but is that consequence of what already exists?
What is it like being rich?
What's it like?
Yeah.
Well, you can scare people.
That's your first answer. You can scare people. Gives you power.
Vision, what could be?
Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks just like Las Vegas. Okay.
There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life.
Nush, well, what do you think we do here?
Wait it out.
Who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the film's gonna be like this.
when he himself might in as quiet as make with a bare bodkin.
Lots of grand speeches and weird movements. High society, unexplainable high society sometimes.
A city that people can dream about.
People don't need dreams. They need teachers, sanitation, jobs.
You probably need a bit of both. Inspiration and teacher sanitation would be good.
Out of the Megalon, which is imperishable.
The Megalon is unsafe. Concrete. Concrete.
Okay, yes, the push against pushing for the future or traditionalism.
Humanity as an old tree with one misguided branch called civilization.
That's a good detail. That's the handwriting you get on drafting, on architectural drawings. They've got that detail right.
Were you so cool and collected when you poisoned your wife and her body disappeared?
Ooh, he's got some dirt on her then. Seems like a bit of a battle of egos as well. Is this his apartment, or is he? Yeah, it looks like he's sneaking in somewhere. Yeah, I was just thinking it was a bit weird, him coming up the stairs. That look like a fire exit, you know, unceremonious.
Is there anything that you don't have?
There certainly is, young lady.
Is it time? Emphasis on young lady. Can't always have his youth. I'm trying to see what he's got in these cubes all around. That just looks like a floating cloth.
I'm turning over a new leaf. Don't mess with me.
I'm not messing. You're the one who came in disguise.
I wouldn't exactly call that a disguise.
Ooh, you read gossip columns? Whatever for?
To waste time.
You have so much of it, you can waste it.
He has all the time in the world, doesn't he? Yeah.
And you think 1 year of medical school entitles you to plow through the riches of my Amazonian mind?
Entitles me? Yeah, this is the bit I've seen. Entitles me?
No, not nothing, but I reserve my time for people who can think.
Well, she wants to learn. That was the whole point. You think she can't think about all of those things?
So go
Or
back
learn
to the
from
club,
you?
bear it all.
Go back to the club.
Come back when you have more time.
Yes. I saw you change the laws of physics.
Yeah, she saw it all. Yeah, now he's much more intrigued. Oh, he's wearing his Kylo Ren high-rise trousers. Does even Fundy know about Caesar's powers?
The offspring of Caesar's opposition, and yet
I like her.
Oh. Kids have more of an imagination. Model making was always my least favorite bit of the course. Okay, yeah, she's seeing it as it would be built. But, you know, you get the idea of the forms through these objects that you already have. You can just mass it all out.
Learning together?
It's more about massing out the shape so you can get an idea of it, which is exactly what she's doing, yeah.
Just came right above me.
Able to grow along with them, just like great cities have always done.
Yeah, cities growing along with their people. Yeah, because this is this ever-shifting material. It can change to the needs of the city. I mean, that's the story of most cities, really. They grow as one thing and slowly build out and shift for the needs of their people. That is what cities do, but he's just accelerating the time scale. Oh, there's some images in the material. That wasn't his wife, was it? Oh, got his set squares. Oh yeah, in the poster, I remember seeing the poster. He's holding. At first, I thought it was a pickaxe, and everyone made the Minecraft jokes, but it was a T-square. It was just like a glowing T-square. Oh, the body disappears. Ah, that's odd.
His wife's body completely vanished. How? Why? To where?
Oh, did she literally become Megalon? Become this material? Because the mayor did like accuse him of that. Has she become the walls? Has she become the pillars of the city?
Caesar. You piece of shit.
Yeah, of course, he'll become insanely jealous of Julia's attention on Caesar. Ah. Huh. The statue moves.
Justice.
Yeah, it was Justice the Scales, so it was, Justice is collapsing. Oh. But an oasis within this suffering.
Stop.
It's just a flower shop. I thought it was, I mean, it is in a way, you know, like a market or something where you have these areas of the city that are crumbling, falling apart, but the heart of it is community. There's like this beacon of community within poor areas. Oh. Yeah, look at this lens they're using, so distorted around the edges. She actually just in a coma, not dead then. Oh no, that's just all in his head.
He still loves her. He still loves her.
That doesn't mean he's like going mad though, envisioning her. Yeah, it's a bit on the nose, just stand on a giant clock that no one in the world could read from there.
Of all the institutions your utopia will preserve, which is the most important to you?
Marriage.
Is he actually kind of blinded by his love? Yeah, I think you can make an argument for a lot of institutions, education and loads of things being the most important.
When the Colosseum falls, then Rome falls too. And when Rome falls,
and it's more like, yeah, it's a mixture of a Colosseum and a modern day stadium. Yeah, the Jumbotron up there, that makes complete sense. Stadiums are the modern day Colosseums.
Crassus culture. Banker Hamilton Crassus. Trust my grandkids. Show them everywhere in the city. They're richest kids in the world.
Yeah, I do wonder how much they're going to go into the inequality aspects here. Got a bit of it here, the kids watching on while high society shows off their exuberant wealth.
Is it true, Vesta? Is your dress made of Megalon?
Yes, the first one ever to...
Oh, kind of a debut of the material. Oh, yeah, it's like see-through. Okay.
See through to the other side.
Oh, it's just cameras transmitting to the other side.
Crassus Bank is saving our city from debt.
Oh, so he's like single-handedly bailing out the city from the mayor.
Well, then why are you marrying her? It was my gift to myself.
Yeah, it's the one thing he couldn't have, youth.
To Wow Platinum and my dear Uncle Hamilton. Together they represent the big three. Economic.
Oh, it's a shame for her to lose her name. Wow Hamilton just doesn't have the same ring as Wow Platinum, does it? I hope she keeps her name. Or it's marketing as well for her new show, isn't it?
Bigger than Hamilton Crassus' bank account is this prick.
Oh, sorry. Surname would be Crass, not Hamilton. Sometimes I just feel like I can't get a read on the characters. They like to just have a tantrum and storm off. Julia, there's like one quick little insult and Julia was ready to go. And then same with Caesar there. It's like sometimes they act like toddlers.
Is the wrestlers coming?
Oh, and then they have wrestlers, okay. Which is like the modern day gladiator fighting for entertainment.
Remember the name of them right now? Pigs in a blanket, that's what they're called. Really, the Nobel Prize should be for the person who invented those.
That's the best point he's had so far in the whole film. The inventor of pigs in blankets should have a Nobel Prize. Although he's talking about American pigs in blankets, which are wrapped in pastry, not English pig in blankets, which are far better, wrapped in bacon. And it's probably something to say that they're emulating Rome, emulating gladiators with the wrestlers, but wrestling is fake. Whereas it was, you know, real fighting, real death with gladiators. But this is fake. It's all a show, yeah.
For your time, putz.
Yeah, he's got something planned here. Is he exposing someone?
Enjoy the show.
Obviously very ominous.
Virgin, sweetheart. Vesta, Sweetwater.
Yeah, there was a when she was there before showing off her dress, there's a quick flash of like a pair of underwear with a lock on it.
I came through and then I found it.
What is the video? He's gonna project a sex tape or something.
You will pledge 100,000. 200,000.
Oh. QR codes. I wonder if you scan them, there's actually anything there. Now that it's on digital, people have the chance to go through and scan them. Yeah, of course. Who is it? Is it Claudio? Yeah, it is. Oh no, it's Caesar. Oh, Caesar. So he's exposed Caesar and her. And this is all while he's tripping out. Yeah.
Wicked stain our human imagination can conceive. Oh,
Did they? Was that a Confederate flag? Did I see a Confederate flag there running on stage? So they are turning on Caesar, or at least the mayor is using this opportunity. To be honest, with the way misogyny kind of works, I thought they'd just turn on Vesta, her name was, rather than Caesar.
it is your only choice. Step down now.
Yeah, the tide's turning for the mayor. All it takes is one event. I feel like there's a good ratio of 70% of scenes I just have no idea what to make of them and they're pure madness, and 30% of scenes I'm like, oh yeah, I can I know what's happening, there's a bit of insight there.
He's asleep.
I don't care if he's asleep, but get him up.
He's sleeping. He's sleeping.
What would they arrest him for? Public indecency?
What are the charges? Unlawful intercourse with a minor, statutory rape, and more.
Oh, she was a minor. Okay, I didn't realize that part of it.
It's not. Fuck you! This is not right.
Julia, don't make it any worse.
I don't know. There's not really much defending that if she would. This does have another layer over it. I haven't talked about it so far, but Francis Ford Coppola's actions on set as well, you know.
Revenge tastes best while wearing the dress.
Okay.
Stop.
Ooh. Powerless. Does he feel powerless?
She was born in Indonesia. Huh. She came here when she was 6. Lying little slut.
I mean, as far as they know, it's just that one person and they called her a slut, you know? Okay. Bit of sand.
You can sit down.
Oh, he's just drowning in paperwork. It represents that.
23 years old. Claudio faked that video.
Catalina is the guiltiest man unhanged.
But that's Vesta's.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, is it somehow a deep fake something? This birth certificate proves that she's older. Okay, yeah.
Crassus is mine. 2. The bank is mine.
The bank is hers? Didn't they have a prenup? I guess he's quite old. She's just hoping he dies eventually.
I can't trust you.
Why not?
You've been attacking your cousin since
Ah.
6 years old, and I only hope you had nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah. Attacking family, puts distrust in family.
Forensic examination of the photos of sexual acts revealed that they were doctored and not authentic.
Yeah, it crossed my mind it was a deep fake, you know. It's commentary on deep fakes. It's just like, what does that say about Francis Ford Coppola? What he thinks of false accusations ruining men's lives?
Artists can never lose their control of time. Architecture is frozen music?
Yeah, film is just images frozen in time, projected.
Try.
He just doesn't have the confidence that anymore, does he?
For Julia.
Just try.
Hear me. Time. Stop now.
Oh, it did work. I was just thinking, like, usually he's quite assertive with it. He's like, time, stop. But these ones, he's just been like, oh, time, please stop. But that did actually work. I thought it might be tied to his confidence and his kind of power when he says it. And, you know, there's the talk of time flies earlier. How, for sometimes, a brief moment, it does feel like time stopping. When you embrace someone you love.
Within 5 minutes, we should be able to get to a hospital, to a theater, all within 5 minutes. This is what I'm talking about. We need to...
And that's good, yeah. Needs to be able to get to a hospital within 5 minutes. There are 15-minute cities that have been completely demonized somehow. Honestly, the people who say 15-minute cities are authoritarian or a bad idea. What are they? I don't know where the head is at.
Do you know that there is string theory? Do you know what that means? That there are 11 dimensions.
Yeah, it feels like sometimes the movie, the people just say things that are deep that they don't actually understand, showing some of the vanity of richness.
Excuse me.
Yeah, people losing their homes.
Stupid Megalopolis.
He's an unelected monster. They tore down our house, ripped off the roof.
Yeah, this is some of the perspective I want to see, really.
See this?
Ripping down people's homes and rebuilding. Even if you promise to give them a new home, you still... the emotional connection.
They hate Caesar, okay? This is my chance to tear down this bullshit Megalopolis. I'm a citizen, you're a citizen. These people are just human.
Okay, Claudio's going to use this as an opportunity to get power. Try and represent the people.
I see you. Power to the people. I care.
But he doesn't actually care, yeah, he's just using this for power. But if he can appeal to the people, that's all he needs to do. Yeah, there's this looming threat of the satellite falling.
You're never gonna believe this.
What?
You know that satellite that's coming down over Labrador?
Yes.
Well, it's not coming down over Labrador.
How do I know?
Coming down over the city.
What do we do?
Caesar could use his power. Oh, that does look cool with the Statue of Liberty there, yeah. Oh, and the people's fear, yeah. People's projected on the scared people. There's cool imagery. But actually, is that kind of what Caesar wants? If it comes down, destroys a few buildings, more for him to rebuild?
But what if when we do jump into the future, there is something to be afraid of?
Okay, so this is how they're doing it.
Well, there's nothing to be afraid of if you love. Or have love.
They just put us in a cinema room.
Together, we'll discover new paths which lead to the unknown world ahead of us.
Okay, yeah, like nature-inspired architecture. Very organic forms. That's his version of a utopia. Biomimicry. Oh yeah, and the background is all his Megalon material. Yeah, that's just a 3D model. They've put a sketch filter on. Lots of natural forms, a bit of Gaudi, a bit of Zaha Hadid, a bit of Santiago Calatrava.
Why is there lipstick on those cigarettes?
Are you really asking me why
Who's been in our home?
Yeah, is he like going through his memories there? It really is a wonder material. I don't really fully understand exactly what Megalon can do, whatever the narrative needs, really.
Man of the future, so possessed by the past.
It is important to acknowledge the past, learn from the past, maybe not be obsessed by it.
Can you see it in my eyes?
Pregnant? Yeah, okay.
Why didn't you and Sonny have children?
We were trying.
Yeah, I do wonder about how Julia feels about that. Is she... Doesn't she feel like second fiddle with how obsessed he still is with Sonny?
All this is just an exhibit, of course.
It's like the World Fair. So just travelators?
Frankie, come on. I'm floating.
Don't get it.
See, yeah, travelators like that. You sometimes have visions for the future, but you don't understand the consequences. If everyone's got travelators like that, they don't have to walk. Do you end up in a Wall-E situation, you know, where everyone's gaining weight and are lazy?
Cards, what fun. What should it be? Poker?
Yeah, the walls really are like flower petals, aren't they?
Utopias offer no ready-made solutions.
I think he is right there a bit. You can't plan every single solution.
Utopias turn into dystopias.
So we should just accept this endless conflict?
Utopias turn into dystopias. I do kind of agree with some of what Mayor Cicero is saying here. There is like no amount of future planning can prepare for however shifting human nature is. Can you really design for that? But of course, Megalon is this ever-shifting material as well. So maybe you can in that case. And then utopia becoming dystopia. It depends how you define utopia, of course. If you define it as, you know, a society without suffering where everyone's happy. If everyone's happy, they can't experience the full breadth of emotion. Are they really living at that point? Is it really a utopia if it's like a kind of authoritarian mandated happiness, you know? And of course, a perfect society like that is so open to almost negative influence, people abusing it, you know? You know, society isn't a monolith, so one person imposing their idea of utopia can be antithetical to the idea of independence and one person's self-determination.
Don't say your philosophy, Daddy. Embody it. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority.
Yeah, that's a good criticism. Does he actually embody what he believes?
Now that we're going to have a baby.
Oh, darling.
Oh yeah, the mayor really isn't going to like that.
Sonny Hope. And if it's a boy, he'll be named Francis.
Oh, Julia.
Named Francis, huh? I wonder why. Sunny Hope, naming after your husband's ex, though. That feels... I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Could I love someone evil?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question to ask. But could an evil person manipulate you? He probably believes they could.
No one was satisfied with the Senate, and practically everyone contemplated the idea of change with pleasure.
Yeah, if it was like Claudio, He's becoming a Trump-like figure, kind of trying to represent the working class, but obviously still being... He's like appealing to the working class, but he is obviously the elite.
And he's an entertainer.
He's an entertainer, there you go.
Fuck Caesar!
And yeah, there was the tree stump with a swastika, and then suddenly, yeah, okay.
But you can't begin to know what Julia means to me.
Yeah, this isn't a personal, dig. A political play, him going after her daughter, him going after his daughters, because they are actually in love.
It's my signed confession.
Oh.
Now that Nurse Berman is dead, I can say it. I was dishonest in my prosecution of you.
Okay. Something more there.
I will support you. Privately and publicly.
What will the public think of it, though? Because he's been so critical of him. Now he's changing his tune.
Me and Crassus's bank, which I'll steal so I can give it to you.
I mean, he is already very, very rich. Would Crassus's bank help him build his megalopolis?
You want me to take over?
Yes.
Yes.
She like hypnotizing him?
On crosstalk.
Megalon is from outer space. Open your window, man.
Oh, of course, conspiracies about it. Yeah.
The mayor's waiting.
Oh yeah, you can see a bit of her belly there.
To Sam. How old are you, Sam?
I'm 12.
12. I used to be 12. Are you believe it or not? Do I look 12 now?
No.
I used to be 12.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh. That was all a setup by Claudio. Yeah, of course it was. We saw the guy. For some reason, I thought that guy. Yeah. No, he was there watching, setting Sam up.
Come on.
That seems straight to the head. Oh, time stops so he can keep himself alive. No, he still carries on. No one else would be able to help him if he tried to stop time. Yeah, do the opposite.
Megalon fuses all forces. Will activate some of the
Oh,
suppressed.
they'll use Megalon to heal him, and that will prove to people that Megalon, is this miracle material.
We found a sample of Sonny's hair.
You'll find the point where the first of its kind.
Some of Sunny going into him as well. Yeah, Megalon really is this miracle material, so it can imitate like cells of things and help him
It's bad enough he won the Nobel
fix.
Prize, you made him a martyr. You're an ignoramus.
Yeah, they've made him a martyr. They might have just lost him this election, this power struggle.
Sonny.
But yeah, with Sunny's hair, they put a bit of Sunny in him.
I discovered the principle of Megalon trying to save her life.
He discovered it trying to save her life.
Found in the coldest, darkest morgue of our heart.
Oh, but she's telling him to be with her.
Saw something that enraged her jealousy. I followed, but I saw her drive over the bridge.
She said be with her, and then saw something that made her jealous. Did she see Julia? And yeah, when we saw her body in the morgue earlier, it looked like she was pregnant. They had twins on the way. Did she somehow have something over time as well, like he has? Okay, the sitar coming in there.
What's a 7-letter word for God's revenge on mankind?
Pandora.
Bingo.
Okay. Pandora's box has already been opened with Cicero here.
Does it make my ass look good?
I can't see it. Yes, it's beautiful, Auntie. Wow.
She knows how easily influenced he is.
Therefore, you and I are gonna do a takeover.
Is she gonna cut off his hair?
And you support my becoming interim CEO.
You cut your hair. You're making an effort, huh? Good.
That's all it takes. He cut his hair, shows he's taking an effort.
This is hostile. This is treacherous.
Oh, did WoW set this up just to set him up so it'll go to... Yeah, that makes more sense.
I did what you asked.
No! No!
Get him to abandon Claudio. So it'll go to her. Saturnalia, it just seems like it's a combination of a bunch of traditions there, yeah. Okay, sure, yeah.
Now that the new board is installed and has voted,
Speak louder. I'm hard of hearing.
It's funny, it's this split screen, but a lot of the time the ones on the right and the left are the same shot and there's something in the middle, interjecting in the middle.
Now unleash the mob.
Like here, you've got Elvis in the middle, but that split screen was the same shot on the left and right.
Where is Caesar now? Where is this Megalopolis? We waited long enough, no? We don't fight like hell.
Yeah. Is he inciting all of this violence?
We are here, we are powerful, and we are taking our country.
Taking our country back. Yeah, I was literally just thinking this was like January 6th a bit.
You're holding the future in your hands. Don't you want a better world for her?
Is a reckless dreamer who will destroy the world.
Yeah, I've got different viewpoints on it. Yeah, I'd hope the baby would bring them together a bit.
We came to pay our respects, Grandpa.
What do you think of this boner I got? Look at her and I'm off.
Okay.
Outlive you. Wow. You Wall Street slut.
Oh.
This is your closing bell.
Oh, really? I mean, I thought, yeah, he was holding something under there as a joke or something, but no. Oh, he's getting him as well. It's not bouncing off the armor.
Gods have decreed that history teach us. All that is needed is a slight push to send our republic toppling.
I mean, that is kind of cool the way it's organic, growing on these buildings. But his Megalopolis is just Central Park. So suddenly he's actually, yeah, built it. Or at least built part of it in Central Park.
Except to curve past and future around us. What is consciousness?
It's very obvious. I think the perspective was a bit off there. But the background, the crowds are just CGI people standing animated on loop.
We're in need of a great debate about the future. We want every person in the world to take part in that debate.
How do you facilitate a debate that large?
And mindless beasts of burden.
Oh. Huh. Seeing human evolution. Okay.
Being shall rightly be called a great miracle. And a living creature for all to admire.
And he's got people on his side.
The gates of Megalopolis are open.
Okay, with the Jurassic World balls, yeah.
Our world is changed forever.
Oh, he's like stepping over the split screen there. Huh. I like the sentiment, I like the speech, but this looks more like a architectural visualization that a student would make rather than a multi-million-dollar movie.
To Megalopolis. I'll be known as Crassus the Generous, loved for eternity.
So he's giving it all to Caesar, yeah? Giving it all to Megalopolis.
Don't tread on me! You You go process. You use
So much for your loyal base, asshole. What did I tell you?
No conscious, no conscious.
Yeah, it's like, don't tread on me using these right-wing slogans, but it comes back to bite him.
Thank you.
These travelators don't seem to be doing much. The guy just looked like he was walking at a regular pace on the side there. It feels like it's all just suddenly fixed itself. His Megalopolis was just built off screen.
Promise me you will build nobly.
Yes, Dad, we promise.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it just feels like everything's fixed. Suddenly, it doesn't feel like any of this is earned, does it? With a future for her, yeah. So I agree with the sentiment, but it's just suddenly happened.
Time. Stop.
Huh. Time stop even for Julia and Caesar, but not the baby.
Indivisible, with long life, education,
and justice for all.
Huh. Okay, so that was Megalopolis. I knew going into this that this would be a conflicting film and I wouldn't know what to think, but I still think I was unprepared, really. This is something I said in my Beau is Afraid video as well. I'm glad we live in a world where this film was made, that an artist can have this singular vision and have almost complete creative control, but I still don't know if I like the end product, but I can appreciate the intent here. And of course I know this was like entirely self-funded by Coppola. He like sold some of his land, he owned some like wineries or something, and he sold them specifically to fund this movie. So like it is like a privilege being able to see an artist's singular artistic vision here, but I still don't know if I enjoyed myself here. It really is this like spatter shot of ideas. He's throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. We're throwing everything at the wall, and when we see the finished picture, I don't know if what to make of it, you know? There's some aspects that I really love and some aspects where I'm like, what were they thinking? Like the performances, a lot of the actors here are great actors, they can act, but some moments here I'm really like questioning like why are they doing it this way? Obviously it's the direction from Francis Ford Coppola himself, but yeah, this movie is just the mixest of mixed bags there is, and it feels like there's so much to cover here. The ending just almost felt completely unearned. We completely just, it's almost just, we cut to Megalopolis being finished. The solution is here. You know, it was cool visually. I don't know if this was purposeful. Visually, it looked a lot like just architectural renderings, even sometimes student architectural renderings that you'd see, and like animations that you'd see people make to show off their vision of what their architecture would be, but they don't look like movie quality as well. That's the thing, isn't they look like architectural renderings, not a multi-million-dollar film. I know as well, you know, it was $120 million. This isn't, you know, a mega budget $300 million film. But still a lot of money though. And like visually it was cool. We're seeing almost these parasitic structures built on sides of other buildings, and they lead into Central Park where you have the main buildings. But I'm thinking, that's really cool how, you know, they're almost parasitic. There's some really cool, you know, extensions people do on buildings that preserve the original. Is that a solution to Caesar's and Cicero's conflict of Caesar knocking down neighborhoods and displacing people so he could build his own vision? Is that a solution there where you keep the original and you have these parasitic structures that grow on top? If it is, that's really cool. but the film doesn't acknowledge that at all. I've just come to that conclusion myself there. I don't know if they want me to come to that conclusion myself, if that should be evident to people, or if that's wasn't acknowledged at all and it's just coincidence. I don't know. That's the thing, it feels like a lot of unknowns here. And you know, they're talking about utopia and planning, master planning, but this isn't a city built from new Megalopolis. It's growing on New Rome, or which is very obviously New York City here. So some of the debate around that, it doesn't fully apply, because personally for me, what I think is best for a city is for it to grow and evolve over time. A city starts as a small settlement, gets larger, more people move in. Architects often describe cities as living beings within themselves. They act and grow and mold themselves to fit the needs of their residents, which is what Megalopolis is doing here. And especially it being made of megalon, it can physically adapt very easily and quickly. But like that structure there, how much of that is really a solution? And of course it's only the first steps. As Cicero was saying, you know, he said to Caesar, continue building, but like he'd built that. That's not going to house all of New York City, this huge population that they have, people living in awful living conditions. It's not going to solve a housing crisis immediately. Maybe eventually it will. And there definitely are buildings that are decrepit and have awful living conditions that need to be rejuvenated. I could imagine, you know, we see almost like these tendrils going into a building and like rearranging the interior of a building as well to make it more livable. But like sometimes the problem I have with like master planning and planning like that is it needs flexibility, because populations are flexible, their needs are flexible. Happens a lot in like American suburbia, the missing middle, where you have these very strict planning laws and you have to have a certain amount of parking spaces for residents and for businesses, and you end up, you know, with more parking spaces than buildings. You need some flexibility to be able to meet people's needs. And you know, we had a little bit of talking about Caesar talking about you need to get to a hospital within 5 minutes, kind of encroaching on the 15-minute city idea. It was literally just like a background line that you might not even have caught, but that's definitely something that I agree with. I live in a town where everything I need is in walking distance. I don't even own a car because I don't need a car. Whereas, you know, there's some places where you are beholden to car travel. Some people call that freedom, but I definitely don't. If you need a license, how is that freedom for someone who can't drive or too young to drive and just needs to pop down to the shops to get something, you know? There's this scaremongering around 15-minute cities that I don't understand at all. It's all just BS. It's people thinking it's like this authoritarian, you're not allowed to move out of a 15-minute radius from where you live. That's not it at all. It's just everything you need is within 15 minutes, you know. Don't know how the grifters have made that a culture war issue. And yet there is just so much here. Coppola's kind of musings on modern day America. You had like lots of criticisms of America here, definitely. Like at the end they've got this Pledge of Allegiance, which I quite like. It's like a pledge to your fellow people rather than a nation. And it seems like he has this very kind of humanist view. It is actually human first. It's something that I agree with. Like Caesar's speech at the end there was a lot in there that I liked. This kind of recognizing the marvel of humanity, the marvel of man, how far we've come, and it's all great, but then it's just the presentation of it here, it just doesn't quite land. I don't think the film has the right kind of build up to it, and you know, people talk about kind of earning an ending, even earning a runtime. The ending just feels completely out of nowhere, completely unearned here. It is a positive message, you know. Funny that the baby would be called Francis, and it's like leaving this future to himself almost. This duty for us to leave the planet, leave the world, a good future for the future generations. Definitely something I agree with. There's a lot of good here in the message. It's just the presentation of the message that I can't get over. And it really is a mixed bag in terms of visuals. There are some shots that are gorgeous, And then there are others that, as other people have pointed out, look like Spy Kids 3. They're just like CGI messes. The title cards, I didn't like the title cards at all. They just, something about them looked so fake. And, you know, there is room for like this kind of fakeness within the narrative, because there's all this kind of facade of them showing their exuberant wealth and it being kind of gaudy. I could see, you know, from a meta way, them making the film feel that way when it's those on screen, but then when the film's sincere as well, it's also got those visuals. So yeah, I really do appreciate the sincerity and the artistic vision here, but just the packaging of it, I just don't enjoy. But then, of course, can't not acknowledge Francis Ford Coppola as a person, his actions on set here once that news story broke. And it's just like some of the stuff in here with like the kind of false allegations against Caesar. I'm like, that's not a good look considering what Francis was doing. Like, what's he saying about like deep fakes and things there, and cancel culture? You know, Caesar was cancelled for a second there, and then it turns out it wasn't true. And Francis, I know he like quite purposefully chose actors here who have been cancelled in the past, like Shia LaBeouf, who is not a great person, but what was the intention behind that? Does he support these people? Does he think cancel culture is just, you know, no good? In my eyes, cancel culture almost doesn't exist. People don't actually get cancelled. A lot of people, there's no consequences for their actions. Like here, even if it wasn't disproven that the video was altered for Caesar, he probably still would have had a career. You know, that's how it works in the real world. There's very few people, Harvey Weinstein, one of them, who have actually successfully been cancelled. But actually the film does feel quite progressive with like Claudio. He feels like a Trump-like figure once he got into politics, didn't he? That feels clear to me. So it might be intentional that he hired Shia LaBeouf for that role as someone who has been cancelled for like sexual violence. Is he trying to get someone who embodies that? I don't know. Or is that completely hypocritical because he's, you know, giving him more of a platform and helping him advance his career and probably paid him a good chunk of money to be in this film. So yeah, that was Megalopolis. You can't say it's not sincere, you can't say it's not unique, but it really is something. I think this is one that's going to be controversial through the history books. But I could also see this gathering a cult following with people who are there for the performances, for some of the cringiness, and having a good time while watching it. There is good in here, but there is also stuff that's so bad it's good in here as well. That's how I feel about the film. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts on the film down below, and if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.